Come on back. I hope you got word there to see yourself and give yourself some hope and love. In this world today, we need this. We need this hope, and we pray for our children around the world. We're not political at all. We're just on the side of human beings, you know. And so we're going through a rough patch, and so it's good that we help ourselves, love ourselves, so we can love our children and our grandchildren and other children. So, miigwech. And I also played a few of the melodies that we're playing in there. One called On the Electric 49, and the Secola blues riff that you guys will hear on December 7th. And it started off like that. The song started off that with a flute riff, and the whole thing of Secola is about a Hopi deity that's been exploited, intellectual copyright. And I started writing this song, and it was a rock song I recorded with the drummer from The Doors, John Densmore. And that was quite an honor for me to be playing with him, and I'm at his home in Santa Monica, you know, and I stayed where the gold records that Jim Morrison was, and I'm realizing that Jim and John sat right like how I'm doing with him, and he told me a lot of Doors stories and things. And so it kind of started that. I went to LA and I recorded out there, and there was another famous musician from a Canadian band called the Bare Naked Ladies. Jim Cregan was playing bass. He's an incredible bass player. So he played the bass, and I had a guitar player, and we just started with that riff, da-da-dum, but I had a D minor flute. And native flutes, this isn't a typical concert where I'm just going to play songs, because I want to talk about culture a little bit too. Typically there are two kind of native flutes, a 6-hole native flute and a 5-hole, you'll see. But everything is a pentatonic scale. So I always play with this finger down, if you noticed. And so really I'm playing a pentatonic scale. And both of the pieces are that. And you'll find that a lot in native cultures, the pentatonic scale. It started like with that riff. So everything is that pentatonic scale. And I started playing that song with that riff, and we started putting it together, walking bass with it. Some jazz chords. And then that flute piece would go over this like ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-dum, bum, ba-da-da-da-da-dum, bum, da-da-dum, bum, 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 bum. Seems like there's a lot of cheap imitations out there. Every cool dude has a different mood. Each time you turn the musical page, another new face becomes a rage. But me, I only sing the blues, slide down a jazz swing and play my flutes. Every day another new gimmick, impersonators trying to mimic. Avoid the word, just wanna cruise. Everybody wants to win and no one wants to lose. These sack of seeds I'm trying to lose. Secola has the blues. Okay, flute players. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-dum, bum, ba-da-da-da-da-dum, dum, da-dum, bum, 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 bum. And intellectual factory went up the other day, using my image depicting the new age. Intellectual copyright means nothing to these cats. People like to take, but they don't like to give back. Out there on the garden terrace, I water my beans. Somewhere far away, playing on a market, some watered down beans, not the real thing. Never had the pleasure of hearing a real cat sing. There's a time to sing the blues, pay your dues, come to a place to play your flutes. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum. If you can't be someone else, you must be yourself. And then that walking bass, boom, 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 boom. And these students are learning this, learning the importance of that bass. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. And how the melody and the bass and the bass line are so interrelated. Dum, 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 da-dum, bum. These sack of seeds I'm trying to lose. Coco Pele has the blues. And I like to do this riff. So that's the piece Coco Pele, and that's one of the pieces that the band is playing, and our students will learn about intellectual copyright and concepts of deities and fertility and things like that. All these concepts that we should be introducing to our students and using native culture without appropriating it, using it from a source where we're not trying to take, we're trying to give back. And that really is what brings me here, and that's what makes it a win-win situation. I'll play you one of the first songs I learned and wrote. I was a student at the University of Minnesota, and I was learning Ojibwe language. And it's a very humbling thing, to be a grown man and kind of having to learn your own language. And I learned how to speak it, and I was around it when I was young. But I didn't know how to speak it fluently or didn't really understand it also. It was very humbling going to classes at the University of Minnesota. But was really fortunate, we had some traditional people from the tribes. And the university couldn't even certify them because no one there could say, oh yeah, you do speak Ojibwa. No one at the university knew how to speak Anishinaabe. So we had to get language teachers from the community to teach. And so I got it from the source. And one of the first songs I wrote was a song called Zugipun. And then I wrote Indian cards. But Zugipun is featured in a 1988, it's called 100 Years Century of Songs from the Ojibwa People with early cylinder recordings. And then they wanted to use Zugipun to show how dynamic a culture is. Because any culture that isn't dynamic and is static is dead. And so native cultures are growing in a dynamic way. We're adapting, we're learning the individuality of native tribes, like where issues like, if we want to name the native community here, it says it's appropriate to name a mascot, the bisons, in a respectful way. I think it is that we're learning as native people that it's up to the individual tribes and the people in the localities. And me as an Ojibwa people, I don't really have say what a Dakota person says, but I think we both respect each other. And so this song, Zugipun, I wrote, and I'm going to go into a medley, and This morning with Tracy's, I sang "This Land is Your Land" in Anishinaabe, and I learned that in college too. And the Ojibwa language is beautiful, like when I say "Zugipuna Gwajing." Zugipun Agwajin Nungu, it snows out today. Beboni Nagaman Niwi Nagam. Winter sings her song, and she paints everything beautiful. And so there's words like that when it translates. The word thank you, it means miigwech, but it really means I will hold what you give me in the highest honor. And words like that, it's a beautiful thing. And so bear with me when I say I'm just going to translate the meaning, not the literal translation of the "This Land is Your Land" by Woody Guthrie. And I got to play with Arlo Guthrie a few times in my life, and he told me, oh, my dad would love that version, you know. And that was a compliment, you know, because I think Woody Guthrie tried to write that song for everybody, but I think corporate America and America has manifest destiny in a certain way. And so it's a complicated teaching thing too, you know, like. So I'll sing you the meaning, okay, and don't take no offense to it. Here's the first one, Zugipun. Zugipun, Agwajin, Nungu, Bevoni, Nagaman, Niwi Nagam, Ishka, Gashka, Dino, Gizis, Manado, Gizis sons, Ina Gizo, Wow, Gizis, Bevono, Ikwe Ingi Ayawa, Zigwan, Ikwe Gimajan, Yegwanani no Jikwe, Yegwanani no Jikwe. So it's kind of about finding love, and it could be country love or it could be any love of your life. But in the springtime, you had love, and in the winter, the love went away, and so you must look again for that fire. You must look for that light. And this one is a song about living on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis. Ingi Isha, Iwidi, Mini Kwewe Gamigo, the Vishko Shebawi Giziso. Ingi Windy Moa Haya, Ingi Window Moa, Giga Gwe Jimina, Niwiki Majan, Magiga Squabi, Ikwegi Majan, Yiguanani no Chikwe, Yiguanani no Chikwe, Yiguanani no Chikwe. Anishinaabe, Ki Babaya, Ogi Wabandan, Gage Gigishe, Gamashkwa Wakokog, Gashkadanane, Yakin Gabi Oshitamagoyan, O Inedakim, O Ilgidakim, Medawima, Gitchigami, Gamashkwa Wakokog, Gashkadanane, Yakin Gabi Oshitamagoyan. And that had some translation about this area. Gitchigami is Lake Superior. Gamashkwawa Kokog is the Great Cedar Forest. And so it's about the prairies and the forest and things like that. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the Redwood Forest. From the Gulf Stream water to the Redwood Forest. This land was made for you and me. And so I used to travel with some native activists, some protest writers, and they'd say, Floyd Westerman was one of them. He was a Lakota man from this area. He'd say, let me translate that for you. And remember, I'm just translating the meaning, not the literal translation. So he'd say, this land is our land. This land ain't your land. Get off of our land. Go find your own land. And when you find your land, then we'll take your land. And then you know how it is to be free. So sometimes Americans have a hard time to listen to that, but it's all part of us learning and being, and the really thing here, you know, like we're on Dakota land here, and we're acknowledging that even. We're acknowledging that. And so, in a way, we're giving the land back to the people and making it a community school and things like that. And so I have fun in educating people, but I also, it's a very ironic song because it has a lot of beauty, but then it could be appropriated wrongly too. And so it's hard unless, like I think Tracy once asked me in a Zoom meeting, should I teach it? And I said, well, maybe if you can sing it in Ojibwa, that would be a good way. And we could do that too. Maybe we'll allow that to happen. But those are some of the songs that I wanted to share with you. I had fun with this song today. It's called World Head. And the students were having fun with it. I recorded in Philadelphia a couple weeks ago at Drexel University and with a rock band. And it was a rock song, but here's the folk version. It's called World Head. Sorry, my mic is gone. Spin around, twirl around, spin around, turn around, spin around, twirl around, spin around, turn around. Let all the wonder of the world in your head, world head. Spin around, twirl around, spin around, turn around, spin around, twirl around, spin around, swirl around. Let all the wonder of the world in your head, world head. Now's the time, set it free, let the world begin in your head, world head. This would be the lead guitar back. Spin around, turn around, twirl around, swirl around, swirl around, turn around. Let all the wonders of the world in your head, in your eyes, in your mind, in your soul, in your heart, in your home, world head, world head. So all the wonder, let all the wonder of the world, I think when you look at beautiful things in nature, even today, after I got out of Troy's class, I rode on the prairie, on the hill out there, and I just absorbed some of the beauty of the woods and the grasslands. It has some very unique beauty. And so I try to let that beauty in my mind, in my world. And so I encourage, and I like songs like that. I had my tuner on this whole time. It was mixing all right, Troy, with it low, hey. This one is fry bread, and there's two parts to it. It's like the clap along, it's like the Turtle Clan. They just kind of keep time with me. And then there's the eagles you can fly. I was flying like this, and then somebody started flying, like flopping like this. And we're going to do a little sing-along part. I know there's only a few people, so don't be shy. But the eagles go like this. And they sing, whoa, and then the turtles kind of. Let's try to clap like turtles, okay? There you go. He said that you said, he said, that she said, you said, she said, that he said, you said, she said, that he said, you said, she said, all I'm asking for, fry bread, that's you, fry bread, fry bread, fry bread. Settle down out on the edge of Rochester, far from the neon lights, under the stars so bright. The fire glows and flickers between cactus prickers, out on the edge of town. He wants to settle down. All I'm asking for, fry bread, fry bread, fry bread, fry bread. And so when I have fun with the students, we all have to be quiet. So I have somebody come up here like a student, and I'll have them lay down on the stage like a piece of fry bread. But we're not going to do that tonight. Let's imagine someone laying down like a piece of fry bread. And then I tell a story, okay? You see, a long time ago, in the city of Rochester, fry bread was illegal. You couldn't eat fry bread, or you couldn't speak fry bread. You couldn't ride a fry bread bicycle down Main Street, Civic Center Avenue. So the good people at Dakota Middle School and the Bishop Elementary had these illegal fry bread gatherings once a year. And everybody was invited. No one was turned away. So the crowd started to grow and grow like a little herd of bison. They got bigger and bigger. And the state wanted a piece of the fry bread. So they placated the federal government into passing some fry bread laws. Like the Fry Bread Removal Act. And the Fry Bread Allotment Policy. The Trail of Grease. Fry Bread Law 1070. Fry Bread Law 280. And they hired military people like Colonel Sanders and Captain Crunch, General Mills and General Electric, Major Delay and Major Ripoff to enforce the fry bread laws. But born to the people was the fry bread messiahs, 3 sisters, corn, squash, and beans. And they went around North America and they said, you can't do much with sugar, flour, lard, and salt. You can trade 86 million acres of land, but that's another story. You got to take the secret ingredients and add it into sugar, flour, lard, and salt, and you get something special. 500 years of kindness and sharing, 500 years of tenacity and courage. You add that secret ingredient to fry bread. It's the strongest medicine that people have. And that secret ingredient is love. You add it into fry bread and you get something special. So tonight, we'll take a trip around North America. I'm going to tell you some different breads from different cultures. You got to repeat them, okay? Peaky bread. That's from the Hopi people. Sopapillas, people of the Southwest. Bequajigun, that's how you say bread in Anishinaabe. Gabubu bread, gabubu bread. Bannock bread, he doesn't seem to mind. 8-mile-long fry bread line, 'cause we're all the same inside. We need fry bread all the time. All I'm asking for, fry bread, fry bread, fry bread, fry bread, ready to fly home. Whoa! Fry bread. And I tell people, you can Google that fry bread story. You can look it up, you know. But it's this fictitious story. Someone once came up to me and said, oh, I didn't know that fry bread was illegal. And, and I'm kind of speaking metaphorically, you know, and I say we teach people, I always say, lead them gently to a brutal truth. And I think the self-discovery is where the dialogue and monologue, and I think it's self-discovery where real change happens, where contemplation happens. Contemplation is the step that happens before change, where people start thinking about things. Yeah, it does make sense. You know, it does make sense that American Indian culture is also American culture. You know, things like that, where we start to reassess the point of view. You know, what are songs written about? What is history? Even incorporating some alternative histories, you know, of this history And it's a difficult history because it's pretty brutal. But I think it's truth, and if we can metaphorically teach people gently, and our young students gently, so when we become adults, we look at them honestly and things. And so that's what that song is all about. It's a lot of fun, too. We have fun with it. And that's the whole thing, is to have fun. And the fry bread laws, when I was talking about, if you looked them up, I said the Fry Bread Removal Act, but it's the Indian Removal Act. And the Trail of Grease was the Trail of Tears, which was really so brutal. It almost feels bad to make a joke of it, even sometimes. The Fry Bread allotment policy was the allotment policy that the Dawes Act, when Jefferson signed the Louisiana Purchase, he didn't have the land, he just had right to own it. But they didn't have the land, and so they invented laws that would turn the land from native ownership to non-native ownership. And the allotment policy was one of them, which entitled land ownership. Yeah, after 20 years, native people, if you didn't pay your taxes on land, you'd lose it. And at that time, we didn't even know what taxes were on lands and things like that. So much land. And so all these things are pretty brutal, but we're trying to bring a nice message to it so we can look at things and say, well, we got to go forward with kindness from here. We can't use the behaviors of the past. I wrote a song called Every Day's Christmas. It's a...
Could you try again?
That's my watch. I wrote a song called Every Day's Christmas.
I'm not sure I understand.
I have that choreographed. Anyways, this horse goes into the Rochester library, and he goes up to the librarian and says, I want to order a beer. And the librarian says, this is a library. And the horse says, I want to order a beer. I went into McDonald's and I asked them how they prepared their chicken. I ordered a chicken breast sandwich, and they say, oh, we tell our chicken right out, man, you ain't gonna make it. So this song is called Every Day's Christmas. Every day's Christmas, every day's New Year's, Halloween and Valentine's Day, Hanukkah and Earth Day, Mother's Day and Father's Day, every day's Indigenous Day. You and I was meant to be on the same side, upon the same ride, forever in our dreams. This next part is an opportunity to use our comic voices, okay? On the same page, about the same age, forever in our dreams. There's another participation coming up when I say cheers. It'll come up in it. You got to say cheers afterwards, okay? Every day's Christmas, every day's New Year's, every day's a holiday in cheer. Hanukkah and Earth Day, never gonna be the same day. Every day's Today's the best day of the year. You and I was meant to be on the same side, on the same ride, forever in our dream. You and I was meant to be. Gin dash neen, neen dash gin, forever in our dream, forever in our dream. Every day's Christmas. I got a couple more songs for you, and I do have some Coco Pele t-shirts, for the run, and I have some vinyl. Both are $20 if you want one. I have a lot of sizes and things, but they're available, and it kind of helps offset costs on the road and things like that. This song that I'm going to play for you is a song called Indian Cars, and it's kind of when I wrote it, I didn't know it was going to take off, kind of, and it's on a slow ride. In Native cultures, we play the long game. It's a long game that we're playing. I kind of lose the colonial ideas of what is success as an artist. Am I supposed to be in Hollywood? Am I supposed to be on TV? Am I supposed to do this or that? But to me, we're kind of redefining our success, redefining the definition, what is a musician and things like that. And so this song, Indian Cars, first of all, I changed the name of the spelling. Instead of spelling it like with straight English, I started spelling it NDN, like with the letter N, DN. And now, and if you look up Native culture, people use that. It's funny, so it's a trademark that your head thought about, and now people use it to abbreviate things, kind of like when I wrote that, it was a misnamed Indian, and so part of it was on that spoof too. And I combined a lot of neat things. The idea of a 49, the concept of a 49. What is that? It's a genre of Native style singing that is based on social singing. When there was wars, say the Second World War, there were 50 Omaha Indians that went to war. And there were other Indians from other tribes that went to war and fought for our country and were patriotic. And none of them could speak the same language, because Indian languages, there's a diversity of about 270 different native languages in America. Today, I know, like with some of the people in the audience, if I'd say, Ani Nishiayan, they'd probably look at me and say, How Cola, or they'd talk to me in Lakota. And so we couldn't really talk in our native tongues. So we used English to sing non-secular melodies, like a melody like, and so there are drum songs that, I'm from Minnesota, got no one for my own. Songs like that, but they would sing them on the hand drums and drums. And so this whole style of singing started, like all over America, with Native people coming into service and not knowing. And so they called it 49 genre. Someone will say, can you sing a 49 song? And I can play them on my guitar. And on this song, Indian Cars, I put a 49 melody right in the song. And the idea is of 49, where that idea comes from. I said before, 50 Omaha Indians went to war, and 49 of them came back. And so they sing the song for the one fallen soldier. And it's for like world peace, not so much patriotism, but world peace and armistice. But I combined some of that, and this is the style of that 49. And I also can finger pick that. Finger picking is a little different. It sounds like this. I call this style of finger picking Native Americana. I've been riding in my Indian car, the pound of the wheel in my brain. My dash is dusty, plates are expired. Please, Mr. Officer, let me explain. I got to make it to a powwow tonight. Be singing 49 down by the riverside, looking for sugar, riding in my Indian car. Hoka, hey! Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, na, hey, hi, oh. Yo, hey, oh, hey, oh, na, hey, hi, I got my T-bird on the dashboard, ain't got no spare. A feather from an eagle, ain't got no care. The road is empty and my bottle of desire. Daylight is breaking, the sun touches fire. I got to make another powwow tonight. Be singing 49 down by the riverside, looking for sugar, riding in my Indian car. Hoka, hey! Everybody help me sing. Yo, hey, 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 oh, hey, hey, na, hey, hi, oh. Yo, hey, oh, hey, na, hey, hi, hey, oh, hey, way, oh, hey, oh, hey. My car is dented. The radio can steam. One headlight don't work. The radio can scream. I got a sticker, says Indian Power. I stuck it on my bumper. It holds my car together. We're on a circuit of an Indian dream. We don't get old, we just get younger. When we're flying down the highway, riding in our Indian cars. Okay, let's get that fry bread clap going again. Let's take it home. Yo, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, na, hey, hi. Yo, hey, oh, hey, na, hey, hi, hey, oh, hey, way, oh, hey, oh, hey. Yo, hey, hey, oh, hey, na, hey, hi. Yo, hey, oh, hey, na, hey, hi, hey, oh, hey, way, oh, hey, oh, hey. We're on a circuit of an Indian dream. We don't get old, we just get younger. When we're flying down the highway, riding in our Indian car. Riding in our Indian car. Riding your head away and we're on a circuit of an Indian dream. We don't get old, we just get younger when we're flying down the highway, riding in our. Hey now, what's the matter with your hair, baby? All right, this is because it's on a Chevy commercial. Hey now, nothing's the matter if you want some, take some. Go ahead and get it, baby. Come and get your love. Come and get your love. Come and get your. We're on a circuit of an Indian dream. We don't get old, we just get younger. Flying down the highway, riding in our engine car. Thank you. That's good. Thank you, Troy, for having us, and thanks to everybody for coming out. And it is like a buffalo herd. We're growing slow, and I think I should sing that song for the this song. I'll end with this last song, and it's a song that the Dakota people have about the buffalo coming back and returning as children. And that's what we sing in this prophecy, and that would be a good argument to keep the name of the buffalo here. You know, that the buffalo will come back to us, but will return as children. And that's the reason we want to keep the name of the bison for this school, I think, because of that prophecy that the buffalo are coming back as their children again. And it has a beautiful flute part on it. One, two, three, four. Bonjour, Bomber P. Energy I never knew I need the wind you're buying. I need the giant when the buffalo return as children. When the buffalo return as children. Bonjour, hello. Bomber P, goodbye. Anina G-I-I, how are you? Nimi Nuaya, I am fine. I need the wind you're buying. Where are you from? I need the giant. Where are you going? When the buffalo return as children when the buffalo return as children. The prayers fall down, fall like rain. The prayers fall down, fall like rain for all to see. So that's the song of the prophecy. Miigwech for coming out tonight, and we're friends now. So, any other questions or things that adding to the closing or anything like that? One blues. This will be on the Electric 49. There's a little section in there. In my heart dying, the walls are closing in. I hear the angels crying, the end's about to begin. Spirit, I don't know, come hold my hand. In my darkest hour, I become a man. Okay, Miigwech. Thank you all. Next time we'll come back, and we're preparing some media too, so thank you all, and once again, t-shirts and some vinyl. Miigwech. Thank you, Troy, for having me here, and Trace for the teacher at Bishop, and I'll be here tomorrow too, so be safe out there, okay?